Welcome to Hanging at the Hangar Bar. I'm Scott.
I'm Candace.
I'm Lariah.
And I'm Lacey. Grab a drink and come hang with us at the Hangar Bar.
Hi guys, welcome back to Hanging at the Hangar Bar. Today we are going to continue with our brackets. But before we get into it, please go check us out on Instagram and on Facebook at Hanging at the Hangar Bar. So let's just get into it. Today we are going to do a bracket all on the lands at Disney to see, we're going to duke it out and see which one is the best.
And these are lands within the theme park. So
Yes.
Disney Springs and the things there are excluded today, right?
Yes.
And Disney World, did we?
At Disney World.
Disney
Yeah.
World. The world.
Because that's the only park that most of us have been to. You've been to?
I've been to Disneyland, but it's been 40 years.
Okay. So our bracket is going to be a little more awkward.
Wow, you're old.
Just because of how many different lands there are. So just stick it out with us and we're going to get to the bottom of this. All right, starting in Magic Kingdom, we have, with our first seed, we have Main Street, USA. That is going up against our 8th seed, which is Liberty Square. I know, Candace, I'm sorry.
This is easy for me.
Me too. Well, maybe not.
Main Street, USA.
Main Street.
I'm going to go with Liberty Square.
I'm going to go with Liberty Square as well. It's got the poop river.
It has the poop river.
We do not need to start that again.
Why not?
Because I had to edit like all of that out last time.
Well, why would you edit it out? It's what the listeners want.
They want us to talk about poop for half an hour?
Oh, yeah.
When it's Disney, of course they do.
So Liberty Square has that.
They also have the Haunted Mansion.
They have the Haunted Mansion. They have the 1776 tree.
They have the Liberty Tree.
The Liberty Tree.
The replica of the Liberty Bell is over there.
And the boat.
And the paddle boat.
However, imagine entering Disney World with no Main Street, USA. I'm sorry, but I want to go down. Where would they put the parade? Tell me. Lariah.
In all the other lands like they already do.
Scott, I didn't ask you.
The parades would be on the Astro Orbiter.
No one would watch them.
Enough with... They're not going to get rid of that ride, no matter how hard you try. I'm sorry, but if it's lasted this long, they're not getting rid of it.
She's been writing daily emails to Josh tomorrow about just destroying that ride.
It needs to be gone, but...
Okay, jeez. I will switch to Main Street just because of how iconic it is.
And you have the windows that honor the cast members that have made such an impact on the Disney company as a whole, and it's just a great way to introduce yourself into the park and think about all the great shops and things that you can see and all the experiences that if you know, you know, and the details and all of that.
But there's no poop river.
Darn.
And we're grateful for this. There's actually restrooms that you can visit.
Fine.
All right, moving on. We have Adventureland versus Frontierland.
Adventureland.
Okay, I need help remembering what's in what.
Adventureland has the Jungle Cruise, Pirates of the Caribbean, the Magic Carpets of Aladdin, Skipper Canteen,
Dole Whip.
And
Tiki
the
Room.
tree house.
Oh yes, the Swiss Family Treehouse, which I know y'all are like
We love it.
attached to.
And then the other one has...
The other one has Splash Mountain
Big Thunder,
and the Shootin' Arcade and Country Bear Jamboree.
Oh.
And Tom Sawyer's Island.
Yep.
And Westward Ho.
Yes, the snack stand.
You love that word.
I do.
Westward?
I do. It's a great word.
It is.
Rolls off the tongue.
It does.
So does ho. Okay.
Okay, I will go with Adventureland as well.
Okay, I'm going with Adventureland too.
Adventureland. It has all my favorite things, especially the treehouse.
Okay. Like I said, this bracket is a little awkward, so I know there's more lands, but we're moving on to Animal Kingdom. Okay?
We're skipping over Epcot for now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because we have to narrow them down.
All right. First, we have Asia versus Africa.
Africa, the Harambe dancers, Festival of Lion King, the shops there with real African kind of things. I'm sitting underneath a gift we got from there. Asia I think Africa is by far my favorite land. I'll give spoiler alert for how the rest of my votes will go. Africa is my favorite land in Animal Kingdom. It also has the safaris and the lounge.
Nomad Lounge.
Nomad Lounge.
Can we talk
Wait.
about what's in Asia? Because I'm blanking.
So that's going to be...
Nomad Lounge is not in Africa. It's over by Tiffin's on the way to Pandora. That's Discovery Island. Or a different part of not
Is
Africa.
it?
Yeah, it's not Africa.
So Africa has animal highlights. It says what animals you can find there. The attractions are a celebration of the Festival of the Lion King, Kilimanjaro Safaris, Gorilla Falls, Rafiki's Planet Watch. I think you have that called out as a separate land, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So ignore that. Dining, Mahindi, Tusker House, Dawa Bar, Kusafari Coffee, Tamu Refreshments, Harambe Fruit Market, Harambe Market, then the Mombasa Marketplace and Zuri Sweets Shop. Asia has attraction, the Feathered Friends in Flight attraction, the Maharaja Jungle Trek. Did you have that as its own separate land too?
No.
Okay. Kali River Rapids and Expedition Everest. Dining, Mr. Kamal's, Maroon's Outpost, Drinkwalla, Yak and Yeti, Joffrey's, Anna Dapur, Ice Cream Truck, Trek Snacks, and Thirsty River Bar.
That's all Asia?
That's all Asia.
Well, I know I'm going with Africa. I had a much more memorable time in Africa.
Yeah. I think I would pick Africa too.
I will say this about that. I would also select Africa because you actually feel like you are transported out of a theme park.
Mm-hmm.
And you do feel like you're in an African village. Thank you, Joe Rohde.
Yeah, you go over the bridge and you just feel like you're in another country.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But the Asia section of the park is themed out beautifully with all the prayer cloths and flags and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so are we agreeing on Africa, though?
Yeah,
I think
Between
so.
those two lands?
All right, next we have Rafiki's Planet Watch versus Discovery Island.
Discovery Island.
Which is the one with the animals? Is that Rafiki's Planet Watch?
Like the petting zoo and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Rafiki's Planet Watch.
That's what I'm going for. Even though I have not been there.
Yet.
And you picked... Sorry, it's sticking to my lip.
That's what she said.
See?
Wow.
I
said Discovery Island because of Nomad Lounge.
And just so it makes sense, what Lacey just talked about is we're sucking on peppermint suckers right now, and that's what stuck to her lip.
You can't just let them use their imagination.
I don't want to have to mark this episode as adults only.
But we are.
Chronologically, at least.
Wait, so can we discuss what's in...
Yeah, so Discovery Island has Wilderness Explorers show, It's Tough to Be a Bug, and Discovery Island Trails.
And it's also where the Tree of Life is.
It's where the Tree of Life is. Dining there is the 8 Spoon Cafe, the Smiling Crocodile, the Feeding Ground, Flame Tree Barbecue, Isle of Java, Tiffin's, Nomad, Pizzafari, Creature Comforts, and Terra Treats. Shopping is Island Mercantile and Discovery Trading Company. And then Rafiki's Planet Watch. You take a train over to get there. There's the conservation station, the animation experience, and the affection section.
Which is the petting zoo. That's just-
Affection section?
of animals, not of other people.
Okay, I don't like the name of that.
Its description is meet a variety of unique domesticated animals and interact with our animal care experts at this expansive outdoor space.
Red goats and sheeps.
Fun. I don't know. Which one was that?
That was Rafiki's Planet Watch.
Okay, then I vote the other one.
Discovery Island.
Yeah.
I think that's what we
Okay.
landed at. Yeah.
Sorry, didn't you pick Rafiki's?
I did, but I also love Discovery Island, so not a hard loss. All right, moving to Hollywood Studios. We have Hollywood Boulevard versus Sunset Boulevard. And
I am gonna have to pull that one up as well.
Is one like straight and the other one you have to turn right? I'm assuming, maybe.
Okay, so we're looking at Hollywood Boulevard has Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Dining has the Hollywood Brown Derby and the Trolley Car Cafe. Shopping is, Sid Kahuniga's One of a Kind.
Kawanga.
Whatever. Mickey's of Hollywood, Keystone Clothiers, Celebrity 5 and 10, Oscars Super Service. Sunset Boulevard is where Rock and Roller Coaster is, Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy, the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, and Beauty and the Beast live on stage. Dining there is Sunshine Day Bar, Sunset Ranch Market, KRNR, the Rock Station, Joffrey's Coffee and Tea, where we got our big donut, Beverly Sunset Boutique, Sunset Ranch, Pins and Souvenirs, Once Upon a Time, and Legends of Hollywood is the shopping.
well, I'm going for Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah, same.
Me too.
Same.
More to do.
Yeah.
More iconic
Yeah,
Hollywood
and-
Studios stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, we have Animation Courtyard versus Echo Lake.
Echo Lake is where Gertie the dinosaur is.
Okay.
It's over there by 50s Primetime and the diner.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's basically all around the lake, right?
Right. And then the other one, what did you say the other one was?
Animation Courtyard.
Okay, and that's just basically by a theater, and there's a whole bunch of statues and handprints and things. It's around the theater.
Is that where we saw Frozo? Is that where you could meet characters inside that theater? Or is that the theater that Mickey and Minnie? No,
That's
that
the
was
theater where, so in Animation Courtyard, there's Walt Disney Presents, which is the gallery and exhibits, explore a showcase of the past and future of the Walt Disney Company. It's like a little museum. And then the Walt Disney Theater, watch a tribute to Walt Disney and Walt Disney One Man's Dream. Then there's the junior play and dance space, and that's it.
I guess I would pick Echo Lake.
I would too.
Me too.
My favorite restaurant in Hollywood Studios is there.
Right?
50s Primetime.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to say Animation Courtyard.
Ooh.
I'm going with Echo Lake.
Why would you pick Animation Court?
The history. It's all
Yeah.
about Walt.
Boom.
All right, next we have Commissary Lane versus Grand Avenue.
This is a lot of lands for.
Yeah.
Hollywood Studios has the most.
That's why it's all
lands.
confusing.
Yeah.
Okay, so Commissary Lane, the only thing there is Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater and the ABC Commissary.
Okay.
Grand Avenue has Muppet Vision 3D, Pizza Rizzo, Mama Melrose's Ristorante Italiano, and Baseline Tap House.
That's my vote.
Grand
Yeah,
Avenue, there it is.
Yep.
Yep, same.
All right, and then we have Toy Story Land versus Galaxy's Edge.
Toy Story.
Ooh. This is hard. I'm
Okay, you go first.
I'm gonna go with Toy Story.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going with Galaxy. It's way more immersive.
I will give you that.
I was pretty immersed.
However, in Toy Story Land, it is kind of cool to be the size of a toy wandering around in Andy's backyard. Especially when you consider like the popsicle stick fence
Yes.
and the different colors and the lights and
Yes.
like when you get to see the Green Army Men marching band. That's super cool.
That is, I think that's insane how they did Toy Story Land.
I think his head might explode.
Again, I think I'm having a stroke. So, Toy Story Land doesn't feel like I'm leaving Florida.
Mm-mm.
It feels like I'm shrinking down to the size of a toy, all that kind of stuff, but you still feel like you're in Florida. I felt a noticeable difference when I crossed into Galaxy's Edge. And the immersiveness there is everybody you deal with in Galaxy's Edge is a part of the story. Instead of just
cast members.
Right. Instead of just watching the drummers go by and that kind of thing and interacting with people that are in a restaurant or in a food stand that just maybe are part of the story with you. In Galaxy's Edge, everyone there is part of the story. They've changed the language to make you more immersed in that story. So that's why I'm leaning towards Galaxy's Edge. But my favorite ride in all of Hollywood Studios is in Toy Story Land.
So far.
That's the other thing is I
So
go back
far.
to, I haven't been on Rise of the Resistance yet, and I hope I'm not making it too big for what it actually is, but I think that ride is going to blow my mind.
Well, and even on the last time, like, I didn't go with y'all to Galaxy's Edge but like, you all talked about that the entire time we were sitting at 50's Primetime having lunch. You were all saying how cool it was and how different you felt and how it was just amazing.
I was an arm's length away from Chewbacca.
The real Chewbacca.
Well, of course.
Well, I will say, to defend Galaxy's Edge, Star Wars is a much more adult movie, I guess, kind of, way more than Toy Story is. So in Galaxy's Edge, I think it becomes more immersive because as adults, you're like, oh, I'm in Galaxy's Edge, versus when you're in Toy Story Land.
It doesn't take as much to amaze children.
Yeah, basically.
And you still feel like you're in a theme park in Toy Story Land.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Whereas I didn't feel like I was in a theme park anymore. Like, yeah, there were rides, there were restaurants, but I didn't feel like I was in a theme park anymore in Galaxy's Edge. So my vote goes to Galaxy's Edge.
I liked it a lot. I love Galaxy's Edge. I can't wait to go back. But since Toy Story is so nostalgic to me, seeing that, I was so excited for that land and just being in there. Like when I watched it as a kid, there were just so many cool things like Pizza Planet, even though that's not a part of it. But I kind of considered the whole soaring or the saucers. What is
Swirling
Alien
saucers.
swirling? Thank you. Flying saucer. Yeah. Swirling saucers. So many S's today. But yeah, it's just, I love that land. And I wish that we were in there for a little bit longer. I could spend like hours in that land and really just hang out there. Eat at Woody's Lunchbox and...
Okay, is anybody going to be willing to change their mind?
Oh, is it 2-2?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not changing my mind.
We might have to
For
do
me,
another
it's-
draw.
For me, it's a whole discussion about hype.
Mm.
Okay. Under the caveat that it is today only,
Yeah.
I'm going to switch to Toy Story Land because I've seen and experienced more there than I have in Galaxy's Edge. And what took Galaxy's Edge over the top for me is a ride I haven't been on yet.
Okay.
So I'll go back to Toy Story Land.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Going back to Magic Kingdom, we have Main Street versus Adventureland.
Adventureland.
I'm going Adventureland.
Main Street, USA.
Don't put me in this position again. I hate it.
Yeah,
We need a fifth person. Okay.
We'll be taking applications for other Hanging at the Hangar Bar crew. Let us know if you're interested.
Please and thank you.
Distance is not an issue. Josh tomorrow.
Oh man, this is a difficult one. You can't have a Disney. Okay, you've watched the movies, the sing-along movies. Who knows what I'm talking about? The Disney.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Sing along songs.
Yeah.
Yes.
You cannot have it without Main Street USA, and you can't have that song without Main Street. It
As
is
in walking right down the middle of?
Main Street USA.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. When you walk in, how boring would it be if you just were dumped into your little poop river of, what is it? Liberty Square? Is that where the poop river is?
Yes, but we're talking about
I would
Adventureland.
not mind.
You would like to just be walking down the poop river.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that shows a lot about your character, unfortunately.
Where are you going to want to spend your time?
Fine. Next time we go, you can't go to Adventureland. That's the deal.
I never agree.
That's kind of the question I was asking, but not really.
We are past
So,
arguing.
when you go to the park,
Mm-hmm.
where are you going to spend more time? Main Street USA or Adventureland?
Well,
That's
where would I
not a
watch?
fair argument.
Where would I watch the fireworks? From Adventureland? No, thank you.
You'd watch that from the Castle Hub, which isn't one of our neighborhoods.
But it's closer to Main Street USA than it is to Adventureland.
You got to pick.
No, we're gonna have to do some rock paper scissors action because I'm not budging. I love Adventureland, but I love Main Street.
So you said Main Street.
Mhm.
You and I said Adventureland. We'll let Candace and Lariah do the random number again for this round. So Candace, I'll let you pick first this time. Number between 1 and 100.
67.
16.
Candace, the number was 98.
Ooh.
Boo!
Yeah. You and your little tree house can go.
I was talking pirates.
I was talking Casey's Corner.
Fine. Okay, next we have Fantasyland versus Tomorrowland.
Oh, this is easy for me. Tomorrowland. All the way. And I know that I'm probably going to lose, but I don't care.
Fantasyland.
Winnie the Pooh.
The castle.
Why is this the hardest one yet?
Because it's the two best lands. In my mind, it's the two
Mhm.
best.
I'm going with. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going with Fantasyland.
So you said Tomorrowland, you two said Fantasyland.
Mm-hmm.
I know, that's what I'm looking at. People Mover,
I said,
Carousel of Progress, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, Space Mountain.
The Honey Wall.
I know, and then I would push kids out of the way to get to ride on the Honey Wall. But then you have Under the Sea, it has Mickey's PhilharMagic, it has Peter Pan's Flight,
Storybook Circus.
Seven Dwarfs Mine Train,
and you're forgetting your favorite.
which is
Isn't,
Small World.
Small
That's
World.
in Fantasyland.
you hate that. You love Carousel of Progress, Scott.
The restaurants are better in Fantasyland. I'm going to go with Fantasyland.
Scott, you betrayed me. You're a traitor.
But again, I would have put those as my 1 and 2 seeds and had them probably meet later on because those are the two best lands in the park.
Yeah. You did this the wrong way, sister.
Wow.
No,
I'm
it's her
really
seeding. She
confused.
gets to choose.
They're my seeds.
Ugh, I don't like
Oh.
that at all.
Well, plant your garden, girl.
That is what
Okay.
she said. All right.
Okay, so next we finally get to go to Epcot.
Thank God.
Okay, so first up we have World Showcase versus World Celebration.
What?
Since they've recently changed all of that, let me go through.
Yeah, we need to
This
talk
will be
about
good
that.
for our listeners as well. So, end of last year, they rebranded all of the Epcot lands into 4 worlds. So, what used to be Future World, World Showcase, what were the others you had?
No, it used to be Future World up front with Spaceship Earth and all that, and then World Showcase was around the back, so it was only 2.
Okay, so they broke it out into 4. So, since we're going to go through all of them, the first one you said was World Celebration and...
World Showcase.
Okay, so World Celebration has Spaceship Earth. Walt Disney Imagineer presents the Epcot Experience. Disney and Pixar Short Film Festival, and Journey into Imagination with Figment. Dining is the Eats at Epcot experience, and there's a couple different shoppings. That's where Club Cool is.
Not really.
And we all know what World Showcase is.
Mm-hmm.
Are we voting now?
Yeah,
World Showcase.
World Showcase.
World Showcase.
I lose even if I choose World Celebration, but I would choose World Showcase just because that's where I'd spend my time. You go do Spaceship Earth and Journey into Imagination with Figment, and you're just like
and the Season Nemo, and then you and the
That's-
land. Oh, but that's not World
that's
Celebration.
not in World Celebration.
Okay.
Solid.
Okay, next we have World Discovery versus World Nature.
Okay, so World Discovery has Mission Space and Test Track, and then a Joffrey Station and the new Space 220 restaurant.
And then Guardians of the Galaxy will be over there as well, or is that?
Yes. Wait, no.
That's in World Discovery. Yes, Guardians of the Galaxy will be in World Discovery.
Okay, I'm confused, but that's all right. So World Nature has Awesome Planet, Soarin', Living with the Land, The Seas with Nemo and Friends, Turtle Talk with Crush, Sea Base. Dining is Sunshine Seasons, Chippendale, and Coral Reef. And Chippendale Harvest Feast at Garden Grill.
Nature.
Nature.
Okay, Miss Sciencey Spacey.
I am.
Pick a lane.
I would also say World Nature.
Same.
All right. Okay, going back to Animal Kingdom. We have Africa versus Discovery Island.
Ooh.
Africa.
Africa.
Africa. And then we have Pandora versus Dino Land.
Pandora.
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 All right.
What? Hold on. Before we move from that, though, let's make sure we talk about Dino Land because I think that the story
It's a sleeper land.
is a sleeper land. The fact, like, people don't understand that land when they go into it. The fact that it used to be like a moving carnival or something like that. It's on a parking lot. And all of those little details, like when you're walking down, you can see the lines where cars, like it used to be a parking lot. And that was like I think people walk through there and they think to themselves, oh, this is weird theming, but it tells a really underrated story. I'm still going with Pandora just because the immersiveness of that land. And if you don't go to Pandora at night, you're missing out. It's fantastic, and I think it's better than during the day.
Mm-hmm.
But Dino Land is an underrated land and has some really cool things. So don't skip that one just from theming alone.
Right. Get to know the story, and it makes a lot more sense once you understand the story.
Okay, going to Hollywood Studios. Sunset Boulevard versus Echo Lake.
Sunset.
I'm going Sunset.
Echo Lake.
Tell me why. Convince me.
50s primetime is over there, and it just like that area of the park is just more low-key to me than Sunset Boulevard is. I mean, you've got all the energy over there of like Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster and all of that. Whereas around Echo Lake, you've got Gertie the dinosaur, which she's adorable. There's a lot of space over there just to sit and kind of people watch and enjoy your day.
Also, in my mind, I'm remembering it to be pretty shady. Like, actually shady, not like trying to use that as a different meaning.
Right.
Like
there's shade.
And
Yes.
it's cooler. That's what I'm remembering it to be.
Yeah. It's just more simple
Yeah.
to me.
So what you're saying is Echo Lake is a destination, Sunset Boulevard is you go to do things.
Right. And there's a different feeling for each place. Like Echo Lake, you can sit and relax, go get some ice cream from Gertie, and then sit and relax. Whereas Sunset Boulevard, there's really a bunch of running around that you need to do.
Yeah, so Sunset has Rock and Roller Coaster, the Racing Academy, the Tower of Terror, Beauty and Beast live on stage, and then a couple of restaurants.
Right.
Some quick service food.
I think you convinced me to go over to Echo Lake.
Honestly, I think you convinced me as well.
The only ride in Echo Lake is Star Tours.
Ugh. That thing's trash. But with that aside.
It's not all about the rides, though.
No, it's really not.
So,
especially for me. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, I would probably go with Echo Lake too.
cool.
Wow, look at us. We are Disney adults.
yeah.
All right. Grand Avenue versus Toy Story Land.
Toy Story.
Toy Story.
Toy Story Land.
Yeah, Toy Story Land. I just had to refresh my memory on what else in Grand Avenue, and it's just Muppet Vision 3.0 and Bad Pizza.
Which that part of the park is adorable.
Mm-hmm.
But.
Oh, it has Baseline Tap House in it too.
Yeah, but still.
All right. Going back to Magic Kingdom for the final.
Get us into the final four, right?
Yep. All right. We have Main Street versus Fantasyland.
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 I'm going Fantasyland.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was easy.
Because Main Street should have lost 2 rounds ago.
No.
Nobody can see you giving me that look, Candace.
You know what?
Rude.
When we go back, you're not allowed to enjoy Main Street. If I see
You
a
can't
smile
even
on
go in
your
the park.
face, yeah.
You have to go down Main Street to get to anywhere else in that park. You're not allowed.
Yeah. And if we see you going down there and you smile, you're done.
Okay. In Epcot, we have World Showcase versus World Nature.
World Showcase.
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 Yeah, I'll say.
I love Scott is being last. I love this. He's the best person on the hot seat.
Garden Grill. The best
World
character.
Showcase.
The best character dining experience in all of Disney World that we've been to.
Francisco. Oh my god.
Thank
It
you.
has Soarin'.
Thank you.
It has Livin' with the Land.
Queso Fundido.
That's one restaurant.
World Showcase.
What is it? Le Cellier?
Le Cellier.
Le Cellier.
Oh, boom, roasted.
I lose anyway, but I would probably go with World Nature.
Okay, while you're in the land pavilion for 6 hours, we will have visited like 8 countries.
You go over there.
Again, you're banned from World Showcase. Keep it up, buddy. Keep it up.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about this value that everybody gets out of their vacation. Your value is not going to be very high because you get 2 lands and go into Magic Kingdom.
You lost a whole part.
Right? I did.
Way to go.
All right. Animal Kingdom, we have Africa versus Pandora.
Africa.
Africa.
Pandora.
Africa.
Fine.
Pandora is great. I love Pandora, but
Yeah.
I
It's
feel
fantastic, but it's
Animal
not
Kingdom.
real.
Yeah, and it's like Animal Kingdom
Yes, that's true.
is the park.
Not
It's
James
not-
Cameron Movie Land.
Unfortunately not. Whoa. If they want to do that, they have to build a Titanic too.
And
We're
that
not
just doesn't
having
belong
the
there.
Titanic land.
Titanic land. You just walk in and have to lay out on a boat that's only, or at a door that's only big enough for one.
It's
Yeah.
actually big enough for 2.
Yeah, we can measure it.
Well, yeah. You have to figure out if you can get 2 people to float, and if you can't,
You're allowed in.
yeah.
Oh my god.
So, sorry, buddy.
Their signature drink could be the iceberg.
They could put in a Titanic land over at Blizzard Beach.
Oh,
Just have a water slide that looks like the Titanic breaking in half.
Oh,
Oh
too
my
soon.
God.
Too soon.
It's more than a century, right?
Yeah, but
But
no,
still
you
too
can't. No.
Well,
Oh dear.
Save me, Jack, as you slide down the slide.
I'll never let go. Whee!
Oh,
All right.
okay. Still funny.
What are we doing?
Okay, in Hollywood studios, we have Echo Lake versus Toy Story Land. Two very different.
Yeah.
Different.
vibes.
and going to them for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pick Toy Story Land.
Toy Story Land.
Toy Story Land.
Okay. Honestly, I was gonna pick Echo Lake.
Really?
You made it sound like paradise.
Well,
and I
it's
just-
wonderful, but if you want to go and do something and you want something quintessentially Disney, Toy Story.
True.
And you can still eat there.
Yeah. Not like Gertie the
Tacos.
dinosaur, but
Yeah, Woody.
Okay. All right. Magic Kingdom versus Animal Kingdom. We have Fantasyland versus Africa.
Sorry, I'm picking Fantasyland.
Africa.
Ooh.
We're all sweating.
No, you have to go next because I want Scott on the hot seat.
I'm picking Africa.
Okay, Africa, Fantasyland.
Come on, Scott. Join the dark side.
Join a small world.
Join the small world with me.
You might be able to get back into Magic Kingdom.
If you think about going to Disney, do you think about going into Africa, or do you think about, like, when you first think of Disney, do you think of the things in Animal Kingdom, or do you think of the things in Magic Kingdom?
Are you a true Disney fan?
Fan? What does that mean?
Oh, that's the question. For a true,
What does that mean?
Yeah,
as a true Disney fan,
Okay,
you
explain.
know that there's much more to Disney than Magic Kingdom.
But where do your first thoughts go?
Well, you don't want to know
Yeah.
where my first
What?
Food.
I think I have to go with Fantasyland as my choice, and the reason why is it's
Hi, girls.
touches back to Walt, like we did in a previous episode.
So does the safari.
Kind of. That's a stretch. There's things in Fantasyland. But there's things in Fantasyland that Walt had a hand in their design. Not just Walt's idea. Walt did not touch the safari. He touched Small World.
Whoa, let's not use that word.
The touched word?
He firmly grasped.
That's even worse.
No!
Walt firmly grasped the Small World.
No.
All the children of the small world.
No.
He touched.
No.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I listen to too many comedy podcasts, so sorry if I offended people.
Yeah, so I'm going with Fantasyland just because I think it's a closer connection to Walt. And when I think of Disney, when I think of going to Disney, I don't automatically, my first right of choice is not the safari. Even though some of my best experiences have been in Africa, I still think Fantasyland is my land of choice. So, you two both said Africa without defending it. Convince me.
It's something completely different.
It's something completely different. It's kind of a sleeper experience. Again, you don't feel like you're in Florida anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Which, Fantasyland, I'm sorry. You
Feels
still
like
feel
Florida.
like you're in a theme park in Florida. In sweaty, hot, humid Florida. We have our experience with the Harambe dancers. That didn't happen in Fantasyland.
Yet.
I don't think the Harambe dancers are going to Fantasyland.
No, that would be a little out of theme. Just a little.
You never know. They're doing a lot of things, a lot of different things. So.
Let's see. Africa.
You too, Lariah. You picked Africa too. We're not just asking Candace. So
Walt
far,
loved traveling. Loved it.
Okay.
And as far as a cultural experience, Africa wins hands down.
True.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're looking deep Disney, rather than just where everybody else goes, because everybody else thinks, because the movie's open on the castle, that's sleeper logic right there. That's lazy. That's lazy
You
thinking.
calling me lazy?
A little bit.
Me
A little
too.
bit.
It's okay.
I get
I'm
your
lazy.
argument. I do. I get it. But the fact that you can find as much magic as you can over in Africa, and it's a completely different experience. Like the first time we went to Animal Kingdom, I told you it didn't feel like Disney to me.
True.
And yet it's a Disney theme park. It's focused on nature and animals and things that Walt loved, including travel and all these cultural experiences that are so important for people to understand right now.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Are we picking between lands or are we picking between parks?
No, we're picking between lands.
Because you just described why Animal Kingdom should win, not necessarily Africa.
But Africa is in Animal Kingdom.
Right. But which land standalone, if you were to pull them out, which land would you rather go to?
I would still go to Africa because it's different and it's not something that I've done 18,000 times and it's not an experience that everybody can have. Whereas
Okay.
with Fantasyland, you have that in California. You have Fantasylands in all the other Disney parks or something very close to a Fantasyland. You don't have an Africa in every other Disney park.
Okay, I'm going to change to Africa, and here's why. I have not seen Candace be that passionate about something outside of Magic Kingdom ever.
This is true.
Like, the first time we went to Disney World and didn't go to Magic Kingdom, I thought she was going to cry. Now, she's talking about a land that she would rather go to that's not Magic Kingdom. That's a persuasive argument, so I'm going to go with that. So I've moved. Africa wins.
You know what's cool though? I feel like a lot of our decisions are based off of past trips that I wonder when we go again, we should definitely do this again because I could see, because I think we're all picking based on our experience we had last time.
Mm-hmm.
And when I think of Fantasyland, I think about us riding Winnie the Pooh for the first time and how that moment just brings me so much happiness. So
Yeah.
that is why I picked Fantasyland.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Epcot versus Hollywood Studios. We have World Showcase versus Toy Story Land.
World Showcase.
World
World
Showcase.
World
Showcase.
Showcase. All right.
I know what my final.
All right. Now, for the winner, we have Africa versus World Showcase.
World Showcase.
World Showcase.
World Showcase.
Yeah, World Showcase. World Showcase has an Africa in it.
It does. Morocco.
And isn't there
Yes.
another booth during Food and Wine that's an Africa booth, too?
Yeah. Well, we're foodie people.
Mhm.
Yes.
And
And drinky people.
Yes, we are. So I think that's why. And there are some rides and characters. I mean, it's kind of got everything that we love. So
Yeah.
and shows. They have some live performances going on
Mhm.
and all of that.
I find it crazy how the final two weren't Magic Kingdom at all. As far as like Magic Kingdom, I feel like has the most like particular lands. Like everybody knows the lands of
Mm-hmm.
Magic Kingdom, but not everybody knows the lands of the different parks. And
I honestly think though our favorite parks are Epcot and Animal Kingdom.
I would agree with that.
I think so too.
We're so passionate about those two parks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great discussion. That was a fun bracket. Thanks for putting that one together, Lariah.
Yeah.
So,
Well done.
listeners, did we get it right? Is World Showcase the best out of all of these that you were presented on today? Again, we'll put a blank version of this up online for you so you can go out and fill your own out and let us know if we got it right or got it wrong. and then we'll go from there. So there's a great big beautiful tomorrow.
See you real soon.